Krishna, everyone. So we are discussing from 15th verse of 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto matasmritir pranam apohanam cha vedescha sarvair ahmeva vedyo vedanta krit veda videha chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. So now Krishna, having spoken about the universal responsibility Krishna has, where Krishna spoke elaborately about how even the sun, moon, stars, which are the planets which are making us livable in this world. Krishna, having the responsibility of maintaining the cosmic affairs, doesn't forget about his responsibility to the each and every living entities who are living in this world. One is the global and the local. Global responsibility to take care of the entire universal affairs, and the local responsibility to sit in each and everyone's heart to ensure that the mechanism of our human life goes along. And hence Krishna jumps from speaking about how he maintains all the planets in different orbits. We discussed about. We might think about this as a fictional because different planets are rotating around the sun in its own orbit. And we also discussed about how this orbital management of Krishna is impossible to imitate. Even the scientists of this world have to bow down to this orbital management, and whatever they would like to do in this world, they need to ensure that they send satellites to those orbits only. You understand? Scientists can manufacture the satellites. Scientists cannot manufacture the orbits. Orbits has its own nature. And we discussed how different planets have different rotational nature. For example, the Earth rotates within 365 days, but the Saturn takes around 12 years or more. Based on that, every planetary actions has certain influence for the Earth planet to make it livable. And every planet has its own significance in the eyes of Krishna, though it may not have significance in front of our eyes, because our eyes is only limited to certain distance of observation and also grasping certain knowledge. Yeah, you're all understanding? So now that Krishna spoke about how he manages the universal affairs, Krishna spoke how he manages mercifully our own internal management in our own human life, being situated as the fire of digestion and ensuring that whatever the objective with which we have come to this world, he associates with us and joins us in our journey and ensures that he is helping us in day-to-day life. You're on? The ability of the senses comes from Krishna. Ability to chew whatever we eat comes from Krishna. Ability to swallow it comes from Krishna. Ability to digest it comes from Krishna. And ability to absorb energy of food we eat comes from Krishna. Hence, we need to understand that everything what is happening in this world, Krishna somehow or the other mercifully influences our life to make our life comfortable in this world. Now Krishna extends himself to tell Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. I am sitting in each and everyone's heart as the super soul and guiding us every day. Now when Krishna says Sarvasya, we need to understand that he is not telling about I am sitting in matter. I am sitting in life. Sarvasya cha aham. I am sitting in sarvasya, everyone's heart. Hrudi sannivishto. What does it mean? We are an individual. Krishna is an individual. Nityo nityanam, chetanas chetananam. We are all eternal. Krishna is the source of entire eternity. Eko bahunam, one person who vidadhati kaman, he provides the necessities to each and every persons of this world. Now, sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto proves that we are all living entities, we are all soul, and Krishna situated in the heart of us as super soul, guiding all of us. And what does it contribute? What does Krishna contribute being situated in each and every one of our heart? Matas mrutir gnanam apohanam cha. Very important for us to understand. Krishna gives us remembrance. Krishna gives us forgetfulness. For example, Prabhuji, I actually forgot to come today. Sorry, Prabhu. Everything happens because of the mercy of Krishna. I'm not responsible, Prabhu. Prabhu, please understand, I'm not responsible. Krishna is responsible. Prabhu, please ask him to tell me to come to temple. Do not call me and tell Prabhu, why are you not coming to temple? It is not my responsibility, Prabhu. It is Krishna's responsibility to tell me, my dear son, today is the Bhagavad Gita program is happening. You need to go there. So please don't hold me accountable for this. Krishna is accountable. There is sometimes certain verses in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives a lever for devotees to make a choices to say that Krishna, you are responsible, I am not. But diving into it, we understand what is that Lord Krishna is trying to tell in Bhagavad Gita. Matas smrutir gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives the remembrance and forgetfulness. For example, some of you study as a student and stay with your own parents, and mother takes care of you so affectionately, taking care of you, feeding you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And as soon as you finish your studies, you go to work. You either go to Bangalore or somewhere, and you start living independently of your own. And as soon as you are about to go to work, and you go to a hotel and asking for, I would like to have a aloo parota and chutney. Yeah. And a waiter comes and gives you aloo parota, and aloo parota is there in front of you. The waiter wouldn't have taken bath and looking all kinds of different conception of life in himself, and comes and gives you, sir, have aloo parota. And immediately when this person sees the aloo parota and remembers his own mother cooking affectionately to him aloo parota at his home and feeding him with love and affection, he remembers immediately his mother, and the tears comes out. The aloo parota given by a waiter in the hotel makes the person to remember the affectionate dealings he had with his mother, cooking for him with love, with care, with empathy, and giving him every day. What does it signify? We are too affectionately taken care by Krishna in the spiritual world. We were all souls living in the spiritual world under the care of Krishna. Somehow or the other, we wanted to live in this world separately from Krishna. Krishna sent us back to this material world to exercise our choices and make our own plans of how to enjoy like what Krishna enjoyed in the spiritual world. And just imagine each and every incidences that we have. Just a boy remembering his mother, that my mother cooks aloo parota million times better than this hotel, and the tears comes out. If living Krishna and coming to this world and struggling in this world, and each and every actions we do and the situations that creates in front of us, if we start remembering Krishna, how affectionate he was, how would be the life of that individual? How can he continue to live in this world? You understand? Though Krishna doesn't want any one of us to forget him, but it's the mercy of Krishna that as soon as the individual says that I would like to be an enjoyer and a supreme person like you, immediately Krishna grants us, sanctions us that, there is a place you can go and enjoy and exercise your choices. Krishna wants us to exercise our choices. Krishna wants us to experience the ecstasy of enjoyment in this world. Hence, Krishna mercifully gives us the forgetfulness of how we used to live in the spiritual world. This is a mercy of Krishna. At the same time, Krishna never wants us to forget him. Never wants us to forget him. There's one way Krishna exercises and ensures that the living entity mercifully forgets him and tries to enjoy, exercise all his choices. At the same time, Krishna creates a journey in such a way that living entity, after exercising all varieties of choices that he had, taking life after life after life after life, Krishna mercifully opens up the tunnel of light towards him so that the living entity reawakens and sees that I have been living in this world, trying my best to enjoy, but at the end of the day, I'm experiencing the same result every time I'm exercising my choices. And every time with an objective sincerity, honesty in experiencing the happiness I endeavor, but every endeavor results in little bit of happiness, mountain of distress. I'm tired of this. That is when Krishna opens up the tunnel of light towards him so that the jiva starts looking towards him. How merciful Krishna is. Krishna never leaves the individual freedom to experience. He gives the opportunity for each and every individual to experience the happiness, not troubling him at all, and giving the opportunity to him experience that ecstasy of exercising the freedom of living independently of Krishna. And once the jiva becomes tired, Krishna mercifully gives him remembrance as well. You are understanding? The forgetfulness is a mercy of Krishna, and the remembrance is also mercy of Krishna. Both are mercy of Krishna, and both are so powerful for an individual to live in this world. Just for example, imagine a husband is betrayed by his wife so terribly that the husband is having such an experience of bitterness in his life, and the next life, the husband becomes the son, where the wife becomes the mother. And the mother is loving the child. And if that husband remembers his past life and comes to this world, seeing the affection of the mother cuddling him, remembers all the betrayal the husband had with the same person who was his wife in the previous life, what would be the situation of the individual in this world? Are you understanding? For example, if every living entity in this world, whatever the experiences of wounds that the living entity had, insults the living entity had, the betrayal the living entity had, if he carries all the remembrance of those betrayal, insults, and wounds from the previous life to this life, how impossible it becomes for the individual to experience happiness in this world. You are all getting me? The individual will be confused whom to love. Individual will be confused with a tinge of the hatred of this previous life, whom to trust in this world. Every relationship that the individual tries to do in this world will be tinged with the betrayal of the previous life. You understand what I mean? Every relationship the individual is trying to experience with the other person is tinged with the enemy and the bitter relationship experiences the individual had with the other person of the previous life. How forgetfulness is so merciful that Krishna is blessing all of us. Is it not? The forgetfulness is the blessing of Krishna. For example, if the two brothers have a property dispute and they have living in this world bitterly for years and years and years, in the next life, one brother becomes the son of another brother who becomes the father of him. How is it possible for that person to live in this world with the remembrance of all the dispute they had in the previous life? You're all getting me? It is impossible, very, very difficult for individuals to carry the previous memories to this life. And people sometimes challenge that if Krishna is God, he should have given the remembrance for me to, identify him. But Krishna mercifully gives a forgetfulness for the jiva to lead a happy life in this world. That is where sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matas smrutir gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives the smrutir, the remembrance, and the apohanam, the forgetfulness to the jiva as well. Otherwise, the jiva coming to this world becomes an unlivable place. Any jiva coming to this world with the previous memories, impossible for the jiva to lead life in this world. So the two things Krishna takes care in this world. One is through karma. You understand what I mean? The karma, the theory of karma is a corrective process that Krishna is trying to exercise with each and every individual. Karma is a corrective process. So, forgetfulness is actually synonymous with karma. Please try to understand what I'm trying to say. Forgetfulness you are having, which is the mercy of Krishna, which is accompanied with karma, where each and every one need to experience the bitterness. You're all with me? Krishna gives us forgetfulness, a mercy, but Krishna never leaves us to let free. Krishna allows us to carry karma as well. Karma ensures that the jiva from the previous life experiences its due in this life. Forgetfulness helps the jiva to accommodate himself, to give and take. You understand? What you had given in the previous life, you had to come back to experience it. A wife who betrayed the husband in the previous life has an opportunity to embrace as a son in this life and give love to him. Krishna, that is what he makes the corrective actions through his mysterious way of taking care of every individual. Mysterious way. Karma is a corrective process. Forgetfulness is a compassionate process. You understand what I mean? Forgetfulness is a compassionate process that Krishna is trying to bless all the individuals. Hence, we need to understand, we might be egoistically say, Krishna, I hate you. I don't believe you are existing in this world. That is a blessing of Krishna. That through forgetfulness, Krishna is making you to not remember him at all. At the same time, each and every phases of life we are leading under the shelter of Krishna. Because even a atheistic person has a forgetfulness of his previous life. A atheistic person too indulges in relationship with the other person who might have been his enemy in the previous life. Krishna ensures that the atheistic person too has a peaceful stay in this world. Can you imagine such a compassionate person who is taking care of us in minute details? How we should be grateful to that personality who has given us the life. We have come here for rehabilitation to ensure that we try to endeavor ourselves, having tried all the ways of happiness in this world, we come to a conclusion that doesn't matter how much I try, it is becoming impossible for me to be happy in this world. Let me try to add Krishna into my life and try experiencing the happiness. To that extent, Krishna helps us to taking care. For example, Ramesh Prabhu's daughter has gone to Bangalore, but Ramesh Prabhu mercifully is supplying all the necessities to his daughter. Is it not, Prabhu? Similarly, see the act of father and the daughter, or the father and the son, is similar to Krishna and the Jivas. Though children may rebel against you, I don't care about you anymore. I don't see any, I don't see any benefits of staying with you anymore. I'm going away. But Krishna, the father, says, okay, fine. Tell me, where are you going? Let me make accommodation for you. Let me ensure that you get proper food. Let me ensure that you have a proper facility. And father supplies all the necessities to the child. Krishna too does it to all billions of people in this world. Forget about billions of people. Krishna does it for insignificant living entities as well. That's why Kanakadasa says, Tallani sadiru kandya talu manave ಎಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಸಲಹುವನು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಶಯವಿಲ್ಲ ತಲ್ಲಣಿಸದಿರು ಕಂಡ್ಯ ತಾಳು ಮನವೇ. Kanakadasa says, oh living entities, oh jivas, why are you getting frustrated in this world? Please have patience. Please have patience. The Lord Hari is there to take care of all of us. ಬೆಟ್ಟದ ತುದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ವೃಕ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿ ನೀರೆರೆದವರು ಯಾರು? Kanakadasa asked the jivas, are you so anxious about it? Please try to understand, the tree is living at the tip of the mountain. Do you go every day to water the tree and the tip of the mountain? The tree which is living in the tip of the mountain is sustaining. Who is supplying all the foods and necessities to the tree in the tip of the mountain? Krishna makes the barricade and ensures that the water flows to that each and every smallest of the smallest of the smallest of the individual. Oh Jiva, why are you becoming anxious about yourself when those insignificant entities are being taken care? Will Krishna not take care of you? This is what Kanakadasa tries to tell each one of us. So this verse is a faith-giving verse from Krishna, saying how Krishna is making our life sustaining in this world. Now another thing, the blessing of Krishna comes as a third. Which is the third one? Yeah. Smrutir gnanam apohanam cha. Krishna gives the forgetfulness. Krishna gives the remembrance. At the same time, Krishna gives the knowledge as well. Why did Krishna, in between remembrance and the forgetfulness, brought knowledge as the one specific another mercy in this verse? Why Krishna is speaking specifically about knowledge? Because the jiva requires the knowledge to extract enjoyment from this world through his own intellectual abilities. At the same time, Krishna ensures that he provides the knowledge to the jivas also to experience. No matter how much they try in this world, at the end, they always feel their life void and missing something in this world. Thus, knowledge. What is that? By adding which I can be happy in this world. Is that knowledge comes from Krishna. Krishna speaks in the 7th chapter. Chaturvida bhajante mam. Jana sukrutino arjuna. Artho jignasur artharthi. Gnani cha paratarshava. Krishna says 4 type of people come to me. One is a distressed. Artharthi, one is who is looking for some benefits, material benefits, wealth. Then Jignasu, one who is inquisitive. Something smelling very nicely in Vrindavan. People are congregating here. Let me see what is happening here. Yeah? Inquisitive person. And the last one is the Gnani who is hankering for knowledge. Krishna says, these 4 type of people come to me. But immediately in the next verse says, Tesham Gnanihi Nitya Yuktaha. Of all those people who are connected to me every day, people are connected to Krishna for wealth. People are connected to Krishna because of stress. People are connected to Krishna because they want to know what is more in this world. Inquisitive. Of all these 3 people, I don't like these 3 people at all. I supply what they need. But 4th person, I love him most. Who is that person? Tesham Gnanihi, one who is looking for knowledge. Tesham Gnanihi Nitya Yuktaha, one who is looking for knowledge. And what kind of knowledge he is looking for? The knowledge which connects him to Krishna eternally. Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Just knowledge is not sufficient. Knowledge has to be ripened and which becomes sweeter. So that only a sweeter person can, associate with the most sweetest personality, Krishna. So we need to become sweeter. Just knowledge is not sufficient because knowledge also gives us the ego. Knowledge makes us to see that I am the biggest person, I am the greatest person. So humbling ourselves is very much required. So knowledge needs to be ripened. That's why Krishna says, Tesham Gnanihi Nitya Yukta Eka Bhaktir Vishishyate. Among those people who are knowledgeable, one person who is actually loving me. He is the most lovable person that I look forward to. Priyohi Gnanino Atyartam. Aham Sacha Mama Priya. He says, he is very dear to me. Who is dear to him? One who is having knowledge about Krishna and devoted to Krishna. Knowledge is not just sufficient. Devotion is also required. And he is devoted to Krishna. Priyohi Gnanino Atyartam. He says, he is most dear to me and I am also dear to him. That's why Krishna says, Vedeshya sarver ahmeva vedyo. The knowledge I give, where does the knowledge comes from? Knowledge is the mercy of Krishna coming in form of scriptures to all of us. Krishna sends us to this world along with the manuscripts of how to live in this world as well. There is a mercy of Krishna. So, Vedeshya sarver ahameva vedyo. Krishna says, I am sending the manuscript along with you to this material world. This manuscript, the Vedas, if you entire go through the Vedas and acquire all the knowledge, ultimately the culmination of all those knowledge is me. Ahameva Vedyo. This Vedas is meant to know about me. Why? Vedanta Krit. I only have created this knowledge manuscript for all of you to remember how I can go back to the spiritual world. Vedanta Krit Veda Videha Chaham. Not only I am the creator of the Vedas, but I am the knower of the Vedas as well. You understand what I mean? For example, he is not like Bill Gates who creates the software and gives it to people to test it. You understand what I mean? He only ensures, he tests it, he lives by it. Times tested manuscript that Krishna sends to all of us mercifully is the Vedas, and he is the mercy of Krishna. So, such a beautiful verse, Krishna is telling all of us that how he is the companion to each and every one of us, going along with all of us as a partner in our own life journey. Is it not that we should have some gratitude towards Krishna who is staying within? Huh? We should. How can be grateful? Just remembering his names. That's all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you.